Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to eat healthy on a budget and some really great tips for eating healthy on a budget. And these ones are really going to help you save some money but still eat healthy. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. So my first tip is to plan ahead. I find this way, not only do you stay in budget by only buying what you need, but you end up not having a lot of food waste and having to throw things out because you weren't able to get through it in time. I find this is especially true for veggies, some fruits, things like spinach or raspberries. They go bad and then you have to throw them out and it's money in the garbage and you end up buying too much because you didn't plan. So I plan and I only buy like what you need, and then that way you're on budget, you're not wasting, and you're gonna get through everything that you have bought. My next tip is to buy in season. Buying in season is great because a lot of these items are going to be more affordable than if you were to buy things that aren't in season. It's also a great way to add some variety to your diet because every season you're gonna have different fruits and vegetables that are in season, and so you kind of are able to rotate, and all of them have different vitamins and minerals for you in them. So it's a great way to kind of change things up and to save some money too. So right now for me, things like squashes and apples are in season because of where I live, but depending on where you live, that could be different. So I would suggest just doing a quick Google search for your area, your province, or your state, wherever you are, and what's in season, and kind of doing that. You can also visit farmers markets because all of that is going to be local and it's going to be, in season as well. My next tip is to buy frozen. This one is such a good one because I feel like frozen is really underrated and people think it's not as good, whereas actually frozen can almost be better sometimes. And that's because fruits and vegetables are flash frozen at their peak ripeness, which is when they have their most nutritional value. So by buying frozen, you actually can get more nutrients out of some of your fruits and vegetables than if you were to buy the fresh counterparts. It's also really great because if you think you might not get through a vegetable before it goes bad, frozen, you don't have to worry about that. So you just have it in the freezer, you have these great healthy items ready to go, but you don't have that risk of it going bad before you can finish it. My next tip is to join your grocery store's reward programs. A lot of the grocery stores near me have points programs where you collect points on all the food you buy. Even they have specials where you get, 10 times the points or 5,000 points on this item this week. And it's a great way to collect basically free money towards your groceries. I love doing that. And then, you can apply all those points to your groceries later. You can apply them all at once. You can apply them like in $5 increments. But if food is something we're going to have to buy, so we might as well earn points towards it, right? So joining those rewards programs can be really beneficial. I've racked up hundreds and hundreds of dollars over the years just by joining rewards programs. My next tip comes to buying meat. So if you're unable to buy grass-fed or organic meat for budget purposes, you're better off choosing a leaner cut of meat than a more fatty counterpart. And that's because all the bad stuff that's in your non-organic or your not grass-fed meat is stored in the fat. So if you can get a leaner cut of meat without the fat, you're gonna get less of all that byproduct and all that stuff that you were trying to avoid in the first place. So if you can't buy organic chicken and stuff like that, or you can't buy grass-fed red meat, I would choose your leaner one. So like extra lean versus, lean or not lean at all ground meats, because like I said, they're gonna have less fat, so they're gonna have less of all that stuff that was concentrated in the animal because all the bad stuff in that animal was concentrated in the fat. Along the same lines of organic, my next tip is to focus on the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. I'm gonna put a graphic up right here, but you can definitely just Google and save the image to your phone for when you go grocery shopping. But basically, you focus on the Dirty Dozen being what you buy organic, and the Clean 15, you don't have to worry about spending more money on it. So the Dirty Dozen has things like strawberries, which I believe is number 1, spinach, peaches, apples, and then Clean 15 are usually a lot of things that have shells on them already. So for example, bananas. You don't have to buy bananas organic because there's an outside to them that you take off and then the fruit is in the inside. So kind of using this as a great way to kind of budget so you don't have to buy everything organic because it may not matter as much for that vegetable or fruit. Now, if you still can't buy organic, my next tip is to use a really good vegetable rinse. So you can either use one with vinegar or with baking soda. There's two different variations that I've found that I've used, and I like the vinegar one a little bit more. But basically, you just allow it to soak, and it really removes and strips any like pesticides, residues, anything that's on your fruits and vegetables that you may not want. So this is also a really good, affordable option if you still can't buy organic, just to make sure you really thoroughly clean your produce before you eat it. My next tip is to freeze leftovers. I do this all the time to really minimize the risk of not being able to finish things, or just making a big batch of something that was like on sale, like a butternut squash soup, and then freezing a bunch, and you can have meals that are already ready to go. Also, if you have stuff that's already ready to go, you're going to be less likely to, grab something on the way home or have to pick up something last minute that's not in your budget, because you already bought something in your budget, you pre-made it, and it's ready to go in the freezer. For example, tonight I'm going to be taking out some chili from my freezer that I've already made, and then that way my meal's ready to go and I don't have to worry. My next tip is to shop at discount and or bulk stores. So this is things like Costco or Thrive Market, both of which I love. I get a lot of questions about where I buy my almond flour or my coconut oil because these items are very expensive, and as you guys can see, I do use them quite frequently in my videos. I definitely buy a lot of my stuff at Costco, nuts, seeds, and they also have a good selection of organic produce too. So even though there's a membership to Costco, I find it definitely pays for itself very, very quickly. And they also are starting to have really cool like wellness brands like collagen and different kind of bars and things like that. So a lot of the stuff is becoming more mainstream in Costco, which I love. So I would highly recommend getting a Costco membership. Or if you don't want to buy things in bulk, there are great sites like Thrive Market where they have like a discounted rate because they cut out the middleman. So you can buy still the small versions for less than you would buy, the in store for that price. My next tip is to buy the house brand, and I do this all the time at my local grocery store. Frequently, the house brand is like right beside the name brand, and the ingredients are usually the same, if not better, I find, and you end up saving a few cents, if not a dollar or two, than the brand name counterpart. So this is a great way that you can save a little bit all the time. That's really going to add up over time. So even though it's a few cents or maybe a dollar or two, that really adds up over time for essentially the same product, because it's what's in the inside, right? It doesn't matter what the name says on the outside, it matters what's inside the product. So I really like, buying the no name or the house brand of that grocery store. My next tip is to buy things that are on sale. So I like to plan my meals around what's on sale at the grocery store that week. So when I head in, I buy the fruits and the produce that are on sale to save some money, and then I'll just get creative and make my meals for the week based on what I've bought like that. That way, not only do you save some money, but it adds some variety. You're not only eating the same things all the time, and you still save a lot of money too. My next tip is to make DIY versions at home of things. So this can be anything from almond milk to making your own zoodles or making your own cauliflower rice. So when you buy things like pre-made zoodles or cauliflower rice, you are paying for the convenience of the fact that it's already riced. Now, I definitely buy cauliflower rice, already riced sometimes because I don't want to be bothered. But, if you want to save a couple dollars, this can be a great way if you have the time, rice your own cauliflower, spiralize your own zoodles, make your own almond milk. You can save a few dollars here and there because you're not paying that premium for convenience. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any more healthy budget tips, make sure to leave them in the comments so that I know them and everyone else reading the comments can know them. We can help each other out. If you have any more requests for this style of video that you want me to do, definitely leave that in the comments also. And I hope you guys are all having a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.